Hola from the west side. It's me, DC the Purple Diva, and it is time for Not So Random Chat. So go grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever your libation is tonight, and let's start to talk about whatever we want to. I'll be right with you guys. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hola from the west side. I hope everybody is doing great. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. If you are in the clouds, please don't forget to smash that like button. And if you're on the replay crew, I appreciate you as well. Don't forget to hit that smash that like button as you are listening to this on the replay. So it is the 4th of July weekend, y'all. A 3-day weekend for most because the 4th of July is on Sunday. And therefore, many of us are off on Monday because in most places it's considered, for most of us, it's considered a national holiday. So I'm back, y'all. I was off for a few days because I was just feeling under the weather. Let me turn down my phone because you guys are going to start to hear the playback. Turn it down. But I am feeling better today. I am feeling much better today. I just had to. I couldn't take off. Hey, Miss Paul, positive vibes. What's up? What's up? Happy Friday, and happy 4th of July weekend if you celebrate. I know a lot of people don't celebrate the 4th of July. They don't celebrate Independence Day. There are a number of Black Americans who only celebrate Juneteenth and don't celebrate the 4th of July. But I celebrate both. And, I'm good with it because, like it or not, we're Americans. Okay? And, yes, our ancestors were originally enslaved, although we know that not all Africans or blacks that came to the United States during the time of slavery were actually enslaved. There are many that never were enslaved in their families. Just a FYI. But nonetheless, we did have Juneteenth last month, which was the first time that we as a nation celebrated the day that the slaves were officially freed everywhere in this country. At least in formality, we'll put it like that. Because, in my opinion, the prison system is now the new modern day plantation because of the number of black males and black females, don't get it twisted, that are incarcerated. So that's just my spiel in regards to that. But I'm feeling better. When I was under the weather, I wasn't even able to get my stuff up. But I had a consultation earlier this week with another content creator who is just great. They gave me some stuff that I needed to work on, but I've been under the weather, so I got to get all that stuff done by this weekend. So my promise was to have my membership up this weekend. It will be up this weekend. I am going to get that up this weekend because I'm now back on my computer. I wasn't on my computer. And see, the funny thing about the membership, you can only turn it on from YouTube Studios on your computer. You can't do it from the mobile app. So that was my dilemma for the last couple of days. Hey, Maria. But I'm just glad that I feel better and that I'm not going to be feeling not myself over a 3-day weekend. So I'll be able to enjoy the weekend and just enjoy what's going on. You know, spend time with my son, spend time with my man, you know, go to church on Sunday, praise the Lord. You know, it's ironic that, you know, the 4th of July, Independence Day, is on a Sunday this year, you know, because during the shutdown, churches across the country, synagogues across the country, mosques across the country, fellowships, whatever religious, you know, organizations that had gatherings in many states were not allowed to do that, including the one that I'm in. I mean, they just recently allowed us to start assembling again, and you know, we still aren't up to full capacity, and we may never be because at this particular, you know, some people just won't ever feel comfortable in crowds again, and it's okay. You know, I think that a lot of churches and synagogues and mosques that were doing virtual services during the shutdown are going to probably continue to do that for their members that don't feel comfortable coming in the house of the Most High, God, Allah, whatever you want to call him. They saw the video I sent you. Oh, really? I showed you from TikTok. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to you sent it to me on Instagram? Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me. Direct message it to me on Instagram, Maria. I think we're connected on Instagram. Yeah, we are connected on Instagram. Yeah, just send it to me. And I'll check it out. I'm on TikTok. DC the Purple Diva on TikTok. I've only done maybe 3 TikToks, y'all. You know, I know that the majority of the people on TikTok, you know, it's more of you know, younger folk, not those of us who are Gen Xers or, you know, even the baby boomers. But, you know, I'm trying. I'm trying. You know, I put up a couple of videos. I figure if I can figure out how to do this stuff on Snapchat, I should be able to figure out how to do TikTok. You know, but it's I'm still trying to figure it out. So yeah, send me that, Maria. Definitely, I'm gonna definitely check that out. Definitely gonna check that out. Speaking of autism, um, we are looking at a new program for my son that will lead to employment. So you guys really pray, cross your fingers, send up, you know, smoke signals that this is a good fit for him because it is really important for him to feel like he is doing some things to take care of himself, earn money. You know, I mean, I know for most men, it helps them to feel like a man to make money. So why would I think that my son would feel any different just because he has autism? He doesn't. You know, I mean, if he was probably completely nonverbal and if he was severely autistic, maybe in that situation, but he is what they consider moderate to high functioning. In other words, he has some things in it that he is completely high functioning on, and then other things where he falls in the moderate range. So, but he's going to be 26 this year, and he was housebound, but prisoner through no fault of his own last year because when everything shut down, so did all of the programs for adults on the spectrum, as well as a lot of the support programs for children on the spectrum. So yeah, it was a year of hell, but things are opening back up. I just want him to be in something that he's happy in. If he doesn't like this other program, then he'll probably go back to the one he was in until we can figure out something. So I'm gonna probably call them this week and see if we can, find out what they are actually offering now versus what they were doing before. How is it different, and how would it, benefit my son now? Because I just don't think that it will be the right place for him. I don't think it's the right fit for him. I just don't. But he can't be sitting around this house. He can't be sitting around the house. That's the worst thing for someone with autism specifically, is to just sit around the house. So one of the worst things for them. It really, really is. Sorry, I'm trying. My coffee pot fell out of the holder, so I had to push it off. Anyway, I hope everybody has great plans for the weekend. Let me tell you guys some of the stuff that I have planned for the weekend. I had some crabs shipped from the East Coast. It was like great for me. I haven't eaten any of them yet, but they will be taken care of over this weekend. That is for sure. That is for sure. But I'm gonna get some ribs. My man is gonna do the ribs and that kind of stuff on Sunday. Tomorrow I think it'll just be like a chill out day. I might tear into some of those crabs. I might try to do a mukbang. If I can figure out how to use my vlog camera. Yeah. If I can figure it out, I might do mukbang. Or ASMR eating crabs. Crabs are not very noisy when you're, other than hammering to break the shells open. The eating part is not that noisy. It's very quiet. So that part of it's not really good for ASMR. And I've never really done a mukbang, but I could try doing a mukbang with my crab. And just talk about whatever. Yeah. I might do that. Yeah, I got a couple dozen. Maybe I can, eat maybe a dozen of them on camera. If they last that long, y'all. If they last that long.
Battery is low.
I guess my little speaker is about to shut down. Let me cut the speaker off. That's just from me, so that I can hear what you guys can hear. But I'm well aware that you guys are right on the actual speaker, and I have my mic working for once. Like for the last few times when I tried to add my mic in, I think I waited too long to turn it on because it wouldn't go to it. It would only go to the internal. So this time I made sure it was turned on before I came into StreamYard, so the StreamYard recognized it. And, this isn't the most expensive mic, but it's a cool mic. I think I might get a different mic stand, though. Because this mic stand, I'm just not feeling it. It doesn't seem like it's strong enough to hold the mic. It's always leaned over. You know, no matter what I do, I can't get it to stand up straight. But it's been a very interesting week, you guys. I didn't get on here, on Wednesday because I wasn't feeling well, but I gotta talk about Bill Cosby getting out of prison. I gotta talk about it. Got to. First of all, I'm gonna say that I hope that my soror, his wife, gets as far away from him as possible. Sis, be done with him. Be done with him. That's my hope. The second thing I hope is that he does, unlike O.J. Simpson, and just goes away, doesn't say a whole bunch. Just go sit down somewhere, Mr. Cosby. Just go sit down somewhere. That's what I think he needs to do. You're blind. You see, you have portrayed yourself to be this quote unquote invalid. Even though none of that is what actually got you out of prison. Let's be clear. What got him out of prison was is exactly what sent him to prison. His own words. But they were part of a deal that he would not be prosecuted. And as we know, he made the deal with one district attorney, and then the one after them did not honor that. Well, the higher courts said they couldn't do that. And so now they have thrown it out, and he can never be retried for this specific one. Now, let's just say, wait 1 second, you guys. I think I'm going to have to fix this. Let's just say that, I'm coming back, you guys. I'm literally fixing something. I'm gonna need to do some carpentry work this weekend. Let's just say that states like the state of California decide to lift the statute of limitations, because that's one of the reasons why he wasn't able to be convicted of anything more, because everything else was outside of the statute of limitations. But I'm not saying that all of the women were telling the truth, and I don't even know if this particular woman was or not. Really, all I know is that it was too many women with the same story, and his own words corroborated that this is something that he did, for them all to be lying. So, and my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, I believe that the only reason that all of his sins were allowed to play out in public and in court and everything was really to put him in his place, because they were feeling that he was an uppity regent because he decided he was going to buy NBC Universal. As soon as he said he was going to do that, all this ish came out of the closet. And I truly believe that had something to do with it, because they couldn't let a black person own one of the major networks. They couldn't let that happen. And that's just my opinion. Now, knowing his deviant, in my opinion, past, do I think he would have been the right person to own the network? Probably not. I probably would have it probably should have been somebody else of color or a group of people of color that formed a corporation in order to purchase NBC Universal. But it's kind of scary for you guys to think about the fact that this man actually had enough money on his own to buy that. He don't have it now because they made sure of that. They made sure of that. And of course, his own actions had a big role to play in that. You know, as Eddie Murphy said, Mr. Cosby is no longer America's dad. Ironically, Eddie Murphy is. Isn't that funny? And then I'll even give Kevin Hart a little runner up for that movie he did, Fatherhood. If you haven't seen the movie Fatherhood, starring Kevin Hart, please watch that movie. It's a very good movie about a black father who is suddenly a single father raising a baby. And it's about him raising his daughter. It's, the daughter in the thing. It's a really good movie. I think it's on Netflix. So I would definitely check it out if I were y'all. Hint, hint. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. Fatherhood, starring Kevin Hart. But yeah, anybody else at this point could be America's favorite dad, but Bill Cosby. And all Eddie does these days is put out family movies. Now we're all waiting for him to take the stage and do some comedy again. We know his comedy is not clean. But it's funny. It's funny. And in all actuality, Eddie Murphy is one of those comedians who's funny whether he's cursing or not. But cursing is part of what he does. So you can laugh at it or not. If you're offended, then you probably were offended back when he was doing his comedy back in the day. I just think it would be good to see him do it again because I think everybody wants to see him doing it again. Especially after Dave Chappelle came back, my favorite comedian. Dave Chappelle's my favorite comedian. But Dave Chappelle came back and his comedy has just elevated from what it was before because he speaks facts in his comedy. Very intelligent. So is Eddie Murphy. But he goes for the more raunchy stuff. But it would be interesting to see if that would be the kind of material that he would do today. Some people think that Bill Cosby is going to run around doing interviews and maybe even go out and do comedy. Please don't, sir. Don't go out and do comedy. Let us just look at the stuff that you've already done back before we knew, that was back before you were exposed, back when everybody thought you were, let's just look at all that stuff. Even though that stuff was probably back at the time when you were doing all these deviant stuff, And I guess the difference in why people are looking at Bill Cosby differently than, say, R. Kelly is because R. Kelly was messing with young women, young girls, some not even 18. And it was a known fact that he was doing it. Just like I'm sure it was known that Mr. Cosby was doing what the heck he was doing back in the 70s. Because trust me, ain't nobody doing Quaaludes, That would have been something he would have been doing in the 90s or the 2000s. He old. He my daddy's age. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm sure my dad, even though my father is a physician, he was young once, you know. And there may have been things that he did, but I can assure you, he ain't doing none of that stuff as an old man, you know. And this would have been things that he took up, not things that he would have fed to anyone else. Feeding something to someone else, that was a thing in Hollywood in the 70s. It was actually a thing outside. People were giving women things like Spanish fly. They were doing a lot of shady ish. Mr. Cosby is not the only one. He's just one who got caught. He's just one who got caught. Now, because a deal that he made back in the day was not honored, so that he would never have to go to jail for this. Now he really can't ever go to jail for this particular case. So it is what it is in this particular case. And for the victim, you can only, empathize with them. But you gotta wonder why these women were putting themselves in this situation back then. Because we're not talking about kids. We're not talking about, some of these women, some of them, a few of them were in their 20s, but some of them were in their 30s when these supposed things happened. So, how is it that Mr. Cosby is such a big person that you couldn't report him? I'm just wondering. It's just a question. Just a question. Just a question. But I am sure that at this point in life, the only thing he should be thinking about is just sitting down somewhere. He should only be thinking about sitting down somewhere, y'all. Mr. Cosby should only be thinking about sitting down somewhere. Truly. But he'll probably do something dumb. You can't rely on the fact that he's an older man. If he'd be smart enough to not do something dumb. You just can't. You just have to assume that he's going to do something stupid. Because people who do these kind of things are arrogant. Arrogant, They are arrogant and they think that their stuff don't stink. So, even though he can't possibly do this stuff anymore, he's of the mind that we should forget about this. We should just move on with our lives. Let's just hope that that's what he does. And he'll get out there and we have to talk about him anymore. Just don't be an OJ, Mr. Cosby. Don't be an OJ. You got off for something that you allegedly did do. So don't put yourself in any position to go back for anything. Because if you sneeze wrong, sir, they probably will try to put you back in jail. Even though your record supposedly is wiped clean from this. We'll see. You know. But again, this is an old man. This is an old man. And most of us don't really care about Mr. Cosby. We just want him to go away at this point. I can say that the majority of the black Americans, are really disappointed about the entire situation and just want him to go sit down somewhere. Now, of course, you have Janet Tolbert from The Fresh Prince online fighting with Felicia Rashad on Twitter about the situation. Like, if you, these are like two 60-something-year-old women. Come on now. Really? I don't even know why either one of them spoke on it. Just don't say anything. Just quiet is best. It's just best not to say a damn thing. Just let this go away. We had forgot about him. Now we have to remember this ish again. And that's not against the victims. It's just irritating, to hear him continuously proclaiming that he's innocent, like he's done nothing absolutely wrong. Because he doesn't see it as wrong. He doesn't think that giving women quaaludes and other things was wrong. He doesn't think it's wrong. That's what the problem is. He doesn't see it as wrong. He doesn't. Let me tell you guys something that I learned. I'm so silly, but I'm going to share it with other people. So, for all content creators, we all get like 5,000 characters to put in our descriptions. And I generally don't use a lot of that. I'm going to start to use more of that because I have found that the more information that you put into the description, it helps you to be seen in more places in the algorithm on the platform. Because you guys, I told y'all my whole thing is about getting better visibility. I don't have an issue with the content. My content is good, but it doesn't matter if nobody sees it, or if people don't see it for weeks, or if I appear to be shadow banned. I don't think I am, but nonetheless, and part of that higher visibility, obviously, is going to be on me as well as to be pushing out my content in a more consistent way. And I'm trying, y'all. We're getting there. But I guess, for me, I just gotta work harder. I've got the two videos. They're basic. They're both done. Isn't that the sad thing? Except for the final edit. And one of them, everything pretty much was done except for something that I'm added to it due to the conversation I had with someone that I think will be beneficial in that particular one, and it will also push it into other areas other than where we are on the platform, so that people in other areas will see it. It's just really, for me, understanding the freaking algorithm and understanding what I need to do to make myself be more visible. And that's all I'm planning on. So, I'm working on that. I will be getting those videos out over the 3-day weekend. I will also be putting my membership out over the 3-day weekend. I may even do another live over the weekend before Monday. Remember, I told you guys that I was thinking about the fact that it would probably be more beneficial to do a live on a weekend since Sunday is the 4th of July, I may actually come live. We'll see. I may come live, while I'm barbecuing or some of the daytime activities on a Sunday. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I know I haven't been on here that long tonight, but it's one of those nights where I'm just getting back into everything, and I wanted to get on here and say my thoughts in regards to stuff on Wednesday. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the horrible collapse of that condominium project in Florida. And because of that, other condominium projects that are similar to that in design are checking their stuff out. There's one here in California in Marina Del Rey, which is a area within Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles. They've got one that's, circle like that, half semicircle, whatever that one was, and also has some structural issues going on. It's interesting that they told the tenants a few months ago that they thought that there were some structural issues. You have to wonder if they were honest with the tenants about how severe they were, or if they honestly had no idea that they were this severe. But it's shed a light on other projects that are similar to that may have the potential for a similar collapse, which is really, really scary. So I know that they had stopped, they had put a pause to looking for people due to making sure that the area was still stable enough for them to get through the debris. So we just gotta hope that does happen. And I also wanted to talk lastly again about the Britney Spears conservatorship case. Because what's going on in that Britney Spears conservatorship case is really going to set a precedence in regards to conservatorships. This is why myself, as a parent of someone on the autism spectrum, have delayed putting my son into a conservatorship, even limited. I believe that Britney is in a full conservatorship where they can say if she can have kids or not, if she can get married or not. That's a full conservatorship. A limited conservatorship only allows control over dealing with the finances and medical stuff. It does not allow control of whether the person can get married, whether they can have kids. It's just two different types. But she is in a conservatorship that is here in the state of California. And I just know that it's going to have an impact on how conservatorships are going to be viewed, especially for people who, from what we can see, appear to be capable of making some of their own decisions at this point. But you have to wonder why she's not being allowed to do that, and why she is being forced to go on tour. You just have to wonder why those things are happening to her. And she does not have control of her own life. And her father doesn't seem to want to allow her to have any control of her life. See, I don't know if you can reverse a full conservatorship to a limited conservatorship. I don't think that you can in California. I'm not sure. But I think that whichever conservatorship you put them in, that's the one that they're going to be in. And you can't flip between the two. Or, no, I take that back. I think you can go from a limited conservatorship to a full conservatorship if it's necessary. But I don't believe that you can go from a full conservatorship to a limited conservatorship. And it appears that Britney is in a full conservatorship. And this whole situation is scary because she has no control over her own life. No control. Her own judgment is not allowed. Not allowed, you guys. It's sad. It's sad. But I'm gonna come on here because I am going to get off of here because I am, even though I'm feeling better, still a little tired. It's been a long week. I had to struggle through my work days and not, call in. I know I work from home, so calling in when you work from home, you got to be really, really sick. You got to be really, really sick. But David is sleeping, y'all. I don't think he's going to come down here. I'm going to get off of here before he does come down here. As a matter of fact, y'all see my microphone sitting there. Y'all see how the screen is? It won't stay up. And you see how the mic is leaning? I can't get it to stand up straight. Oh, let me let you guys see what I have on today. Because this is one of the things. So, what this is, Delta Sigma Theta. Yeah. Just so that it's evident that I am really a Delta, because, there may be people who perpetrate that they're in sororities and stuff. And this tells you that I'm in it. Also tells you that I'm in the far west region, which covers the state of California. And I have, in my younger days, won with a group of other sorors a step competition at a regional conference as an adult, out of college, in a grad chapter, when I was, let me see, maybe 30, my early 30s, before I had my son. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to try to come on here this weekend. I'm going to really try to do that mukbang. If I can, hold out. But those crabs are looking really good, y'all. So I don't know. But anyway, I will see you guys in these YouTube streets. I will try to do this live over the weekend. Other than that, you guys will see a couple of videos from me. I will be opening up my membership over the weekend if I can do it right. If I can't, I will reach out to someone for help. But in the meantime, you guys, I'll see you guys. Peace and blessings from the West Side. If you haven't hit that smash that like button already, what you waiting for? Go ahead and smash it already, okay? Smash it. All right, you guys, I'll see you later.